I suppose the question is, did these brands greenwash their customers? In this video, I'll surmise the findings from a 2024 Which report which investigated bamboo toilet roll, and the results were shocking. As you know, sustainability sells, but can it all be true? Of course not. It can't be. So what's the story with this case? Well, acting from a tip-off, the UK's consumer champion Which launched an investigation headed up by Olivia Howes and Sophie Morris. Now, their focus was on the brands selling bamboo toilet roll, and as I mentioned, the results were shocking. Now, in this video, not only will I show the results from the independent testing, but we'll also hear from two peers of mine in the industry who are leading experts in the world of sustainability. So what's the problem? Well, the problems occur when there are multiple brands all competing in the same sustainability space. Now, these spaces are only becoming tighter with the higher demand from consumers for a green alternative. Now, greenwashing occurs when these brands don't adhere to any one of the 6 principles set out by the CMA, the Competition and Markets Authority. To familiarise yourself with those 6 principles, just check out my previous video where I run through each one in detail. Now, for those who have watched it, thanks for watching by the way, it's principle number 5 which I think we need to pay particular attention to in relation to this video.
Well, a life cycle assessment essentially models the emissions associated with a product or a service. And it's the only way to really understand the specific impact associated with the manufacture of a product or the delivery of that service, because it really takes into consideration everything involved in that process. It's also incredibly important to follow internationally recognized standards of compliance, such as ISO 14040 or PAS 2050, because these are the standards that are used to calculate that LCA-based carbon footprint. And it really enables anyone to substantiate their claims so that they can demonstrate that they genuinely know what the impact of that product is, where it's coming from. And therefore, at that point, they can start to take action, knowing that they have a credible baseline in place and an appropriate way of capturing that footprint.
So I won't go through the whole document. Instead, I'll just put a link in the description below. Now, 3 companies from the 5 tested, knowingly or unknowingly, we'll never know, missold their products to their customers. Now, before I reveal those findings, let's hear from Nick Winston, who is the co-founder and MD of Biovate. And Nick has been in the industry for over a decade, championing sustainable cleaning materials, and is somewhat of an expert when it comes to greenwashing.
So what is greenwashing? Well, greenwashing is deceptive marketing practices used by companies to misrepresent products as green when they really shouldn't be. Some examples of these would be overstating eco-credentials, so claiming that a product is eco-friendly or sustainable without having evidence or certification. Irrelevant claims, highlighting a small part of the product, for example, that the packaging is recyclable. Well, in today's world with tax on virgin plastic, almost everything, certainly in our industry, is becoming recyclable plastic. False labels or imagery, so using beautiful nature pictures when there's nothing natural about the products, or hiding trade-offs.
Right, so what about this testing that Olivia Howes and Sophie Morris had commissioned? Well, they tested toilet roll from 5 brands operating in the UK, and they were Who Gives a Crap, Cheeky Panda, Bazoo, Naked Sprout, and Bamboo. Bazoo, 26.1% bamboo. The remaining majority, 73.9%, was a mix of hardwoods. So that's only 1/4 of the material as advertised. It gets worse. Naked Sprout, 4% bamboo, and that wasn't even bamboo. It was unidentified grass fibres. The rest was a mix of softwood and hardwood. But it's bamboo that takes the crown. Independent testing concluded that bamboo advertised 100% bamboo toilet roll, but it was in fact only 2.7% bamboo / unidentified grass fibres. 2.7%. So that's a marketing campaign which would have got customers on board that's 97.3% inaccurate. So let that sink in. So this investigation was started on the back of a tip-off. And my question would be, what if Which magazine weren't interested, or they were too busy, or Olivia Howes and Sophie Morris just didn't have the time or resources to conduct this investigation? Would customers of these brands still be buying their product thinking it was one thing when in fact it was actually another? And that's the problem right there. Now, greenwashing, if this is indeed greenwashing, preys on the good intentions of the customer who doesn't for one moment think that the brands would mislead them. So have these three brands changed their ways? Now, I've no doubt that they have improved their supply chain and the product is now exactly what it says it is. However, I'm still seeing lots of hooky adverts out there on social media which really are selling the sustainable benefits, and we'll never know how true they actually are.
It's soon going to become an outdated idea to care about how true something is.
Yeah.
And we don't, because these social media algorithms, you know, they often do not care how true something is.
Sure.
They care how loud it is, how controversial it is. And those are the stories that get amplified.
And that's the value. That's where the value lies, not in the truth.
Now, Bamboo signed off with a passing shot which seriously questions their knowledge of the paper and manufacturing industry. They said, recycled paper and alternative fibres such as bamboo are still a better solution for the planet than using virgin trees. I'm sorry, this is naive, inaccurate and misleading. And it's just not true. For example, Misled Tissue have been creating sustainable, certified virgin paper consumables for over half a century. Now, their process creates a vast carbon sink and increases biodiversity. So that's the opposite of harming the planet. If you want to know more about this, then just simply Google Misled Tissue sustainability or check out my video called 5 Reasons in the link below. I really hope the conversation around greenwashing begins to gather some steam and momentum, because I really think that around our house and our businesses and our whole purchasing trends need to be just cross-checked with some facts and some Googling around sustainability claims. There might be something in your house we use every day and you think you're doing something which is for the greater good, but indeed it might not be what it seems. So if it's got that green halo and sounds too good to be true, then just run it through Google or indeed the CMA or the Green Claims Code. So when it comes to sustainability, stay curious and I'll see you in the next one.